Hey. Good work, Paul. That's a hat on a headband. Am I right?
Yeah, it's for the dog.
Of course.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Dan. Hey, Dinesh. Bob.
Hi.
Everyone well? You'll have to bear with me today a bit. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm a bit groggy, but I shall persevere for you. Everyone else well?
Good, yeah.
Very well, thank you.
Excellent. All right. Uh, so let me get the recording going and then we can dive into it. Okay. Oh, I think I'm already up. Good. Right. So morning, everyone. Welcome to Cardano Q&A. This is our penultimate session before Christmas break, I think. We have a fair few bits going on, as ever, in Cardano. If I get my screen share going, you can start to feel. So this session is, as always, a workshop wherever possible. So you're very free to interrupt me at any point in time. If you have any questions on anything already prepared or anything I'm talking about, just do interrupt me. Not an issue at all, and we can go as practical as you like, as basic as you like, or as advanced as I'm able. And I'll try and cover some of the goings on in and around the Cardano community at the moment. So perhaps one of the things to have a quick jump in on right at the start is to have a look at one of my favorite tools on Cardano, which is Tap Tools, which shows the performance of the Cardano ecosystem as a whole. It's got trackers for all the different native tokens. And if you're wanting to do some research on investment or check out health and performance of projects, and this is a place to come. And it's been a lovely place in the last few weeks. We've had lots of activity in the green direction because of the way that Cardano is performing in the market as a whole. But of course, you've got Cardano's performance in the whole market. And then within that, you've got Cardano's native tokens performance within Cardano. And so as money flows into ADA, then it also starts to flow from ADA into these native tokens. Now, of course, this is the crypto space, so all warnings and provisos stand. Do watch out for the silly coins. However, saying that, silly coins do end up doing incredibly well. So if you want a meme coin on Cardano and you've got some gambling money, then have a look at SNEC. It's been doing ridiculously well. It's a meme coin based around some OGs in the community. OGs have been around for quite a while, and they have good intentions towards Cardano as a whole. So it's not a fully worthless token, I'd say, but it's certainly the newest popular meme coin, and so it's going to do silly action for a little while. So 252% up in the last 30 days, which is just bonkers. So yeah, don't throw any serious money at these. These are all just based on hype and people wanting to see these silly numbers, really. So don't pay too much attention. And of course, my favorite meme coin, which is Husky token, which is around for even longer. And again, even that one is up 73% in the last 30 days. And this is a token that prides itself on having zero value, zero functionality, and having no worth whatsoever. Saying that, they do however, seem to attract a whole load of useful actions. So one of the things they do is they promote small stake pools, and if you're a Husky rug pool, then you end up with a decent amount of delegation. So that's one thing to look out for. The other is that their developer, as he's known, actually operates the Vegas stake pool. He's UK guy, but has partnered with a few other people now. They seem to be growing, and they have a more and more beneficial effect on the community. So this is the Husky stuffed toy that I got from the Cardano Summit, and if you see that big dog anywhere running around, that's a Husky. It's revealed to me in an interview this week for the first time that it's not actually always the same bloke inside the Husky costume, which is very exciting news. And they are, in fact, I don't know if I've collected that link. I wanted to get that link for you. There's an interview with Vegas Pool talking about Husky by the IOG team. IOG, one of the founding entities of Cardano, IOG, Cardano Foundation, and Emergo. And where they shine their spotlight, that tends to be where certainly lots of interest is happening in this space. So I'll try and dig that out for you. And that's a video worth listening, just to hear sort of the ethos behind even some of these silly meme tokens. There is actually genuine desire to see things improve for our experience as a whole in this financial system. Yeah, I'm going to struggle to find it off the cuff, but I'll dig that out, and if I get a little bit later, I'll give it a shout. But anyway, so Vegas Pool, good pool to look at, and Husky token is attached to them. So you can always join Discord servers, follow them on Twitter, that sort of thing is always a good way to follow these projects. In fact, I'm going to link through to. That's a dead link. Yeah, I'll dig it out later. Anyway, onto far more serious tokens now. As in, we've just been in Luca's crypto hour. He mentioned the JED stablecoin, and that is an over collateralized stablecoin on Cardano. So that means it has a reserve token as well. So the reserve token sits as the volatile half of the pairing, and then you have JED, which is a stablecoin. So JED is pegged to the price of the dollar, and then you have Shen being minted and burnt with varying degrees of profit to be made, or diminishing profits based on where the price of JED is as it's pegged in terms of holding its peg with the dollar. There's also other tokens in the mix as well. You've got ADA, of course, which is what you have to hold to be able to mint either JED or Shen. And all of these are related to the COTI ecosystem, because COTI is the token run by the development team who built out the JED Shen infrastructure. So if you're looking to invest in stablecoins or in and around stablecoins, looking for more volatile cryptocurrency offerings in and around the fiat pegged stablecoin itself, or not the fiat pegged, but the token that is pegged to fiat, then have a look at the Shen, ADA, COTI tokens in and around the JED token. So JED's probably on here as well. And of course, whenever you see price move up in the crypto space, then the price of the stablecoins will go down relatively, and vice versa. When fiat starts doing well, then JED will go up and Cardano will go down. So you can see that this is a stablecoin, so it's supposed to stay pegged to $1, and it has a reasonable job of it. Certainly, it's not as, or it's more prone to a little bit of depegging than some of the larger cap tokens. So it is still young. And so you can see these price movements up and down off the dollar peg. This is, of course, denominated in ADA, so you're not seeing a perfect representation. I don't know if actually I can switch this chart into dollars. No, I don't think I can. Okay, well, the the best place to see that then is probably on one of the centralized exchanges. But regardless, stablecoins aren't particularly interesting to look at because they are stable. But yeah, just if you want to see the health of the ecosystem, you can check that there. Of course, there's the JED platform itself where you can actually do the minting and the burning. So if you are looking to get in at the sort of the ground level of the token, you can see here you have the ability to mint or burn the JED side of the equation, or you can mint and burn on the Shen side. Shen is the volatile side, so that will move up and down in price to a far greater degree than the Shen portion. You need ADA to mint either of these. So if you want to get in on the stable side, you just want to convert your ADA into effectively a stable coin, then you can mint some JED. And if you want to look, if you're speculating on the JED ecosystem as a whole going up in value, then you can mint some Shen and see that price rise. So when JED launched, Shen was about between 0.9 and 1.1 ADA for that period, and it's been that way for a good year and a half since it launched. In recent times, the Shen portion has gone up, so it's gone up from about 0.9 up to 1.2. So that's a good increase in the value of people invested in Shen. And you can see down here this reserve ratio, 451%. So that is the reserve portion of ADA to JED. So you're always going to have 400 or 4 times the amount of value in backing the JED stablecoin, and it goes between 400% and 800%. So once the value of over collateralization drops below 400%, then you can no longer mint JED, and once it goes over 800%, you can no longer mint Shen, and that's a way to control the price movement of the token. This ecosystem was sort of trialed on the Ergo blockchain with the what's it called? I've forgotten the name of the stablecoin on there. Sigma token. And that ran through the entire cycle of the last bull and bear market. So the technology is kind of battle tested. This is now at scale because it's in ADA, which is a far greater market cap coin, and it seems to be holding its peg pretty well considering. So this looks like a fairly safe ecosystem to get involved in. Of course, this is still crypto. Crazy things do happen, but we're unlikely to see the same sort of collapse as we did with Solana and Terra Luna. So yeah, I'm far more confident in JED as a stablecoin than I am in those. But again, if you're really looking for something that's got some history, that's backed to fiat in the same way that sort of Tether and USDC are in the Ethereum space, then you probably want to look at something else in Cardano, which there isn't really a good option yet. However, on the way is the Mehen stablecoin. Now, this is a very interesting opportunity because it's a stablecoin based out of heart of the Cardano community. So it's built by people who are in and around the community, have been working through Project Catalyst. Project Catalyst is the innovation fund that sort of drives the growth of Cardano. It's a $16 million fund that runs every quarter. That comes out of the treasury that's created from transaction fees onto Cardano blockchain, and it all gets plowed into community projects. Anybody who holds ADA can submit a proposal to be funded by the innovation fund to build out their tech. And the Mehen project is one of those that's come out of the Project Catalyst. They have the desire to see a fully regulated, multi-state, US-backed stablecoin. So it's going to be pegged to the US dollar, but it is a fiat-backed stablecoin. So they will hold $1 in the bank to every dollar of stablecoin out there. And they are currently in their sort of seed round. Their tech is pretty much built. They're just going through all the regulation. They've already hit several states in terms of licensing now. And I think this page gives us an update on where they're at. You may have to refer to their blog or their newsletter to get the full lowdown and all the states that have approved them. But they're working to work their way through all the states in the US bit by bit, and they're making good headway. And for a community-based project, they've got some really good people involved. So from the traditional finance sector, but then also from the development side in the cryptography space. And this is a token that interests me quite a lot. If you want to tip, I would sign up for their newsletter, and that will then give you access to early investment opportunities, because they are going through a seed round at the moment. They did launch on WeFunder, and they've actually decided to change platforms because WeFunder wouldn't let them actually tokenize ownership and sell that to their funding platform. So they've gone now with Chainraise, and they've got this tokenization feature. So you can own a piece of the company that is going to be running this stablecoin, which isn't an opportunity you get with USDC or Tether or something like that. Imagine being an early investor into one of those companies. They'll be sitting very pretty now. So this is equivalent, but on Cardano, which has an awful lot of potential in it. You can see the announcement on their move from WeFunder to Chainraise. This is a lowdown on it here. And it gives you a bit more detail about where they're at in terms of regulations and so forth. That's a good read if you are interested in perhaps getting involved as an investor, or just looking to see what their functionality promises are in terms of the stablecoin and launch dates and so on and so forth. But yeah, get onto their newsletter. That's where all the exciting stuff happens. You can also follow them on Twitter, of course. And this is where they announced the move from WeFunder to Chainraise last week. They also have this space that I haven't listened to yet. But if you want to get the latest stats from their development team being interviewed on in a Twitter space, or a X space, I guess they're called now, and that recording is available, so you can go and catch up on that too. Again, what I do is take all these links from the sites that I jump around and drop them into the Discord server, so you can pick them up in your own time through the week. And this session also gets recorded and uploaded to YouTube, so you can catch up on it again later if you wish to. Any questions on Mehen and the sort of stablecoin ecosystem within Cardano? Do interrupt me. So the other thing that's part of Fluid Pool's history now is that we are a partner pool to the Machiavellic game. They announced a couple of weeks ago that they were moving their community from being an isolated standalone Machiavellic community into the house that is FGL. And FGL is a multi-chain, multi-game community for gamers. So it's a good move in terms of its launching them into a far larger ecosystem. Going to be far easier for them to gain traction in terms of adoption, game players, but also lends us some opportunities as a pool. So Fluid Pool is a stake pool on Cardano. Cardano staking gives you the ability to earn interest on ADA that you hold. It's sitting about 3.5% maximum you can earn from that APR. And within the suite of pools that are out there, there's about 3,000 stake pools. Fluid is one, and we are currently, in fact, that's worth a quick look. We're currently sitting at more delegation than we've had ever. That's partly or mostly down to the fact that we are part of the CNCT ISO raise, initial stake pool offering. So we've got 1.75 million ADA stake to the pool at the moment, which is great. In the new year, I can't remember the exact date, we'll be losing 1 million ADA of that, because that's actually a million ADA that I've borrowed to be able to stake with the pool. Thank you, Paul. But the good news is that we've still got another 753 in the pool. So even if we lost the full million, we're still looking fairly healthy at the moment. But we do want to get that above 1 million again to really start to make sure we keep minting blocks almost every epoch, which is the crucial thing to be able to attract new stakers to the pool. But yeah, the pool's looking good, so we are on target to meet the goals that I was looking for out of the last year. So that's great news. And hopefully with the inflow of people into the Cardano ecosystem, we'll see a lot more stake flowing around, able to be moved between pools, which will give us a good chance of attracting a lot more. And 141 delegators or wallets staked to the pool, which is a really, really good number. So the more number of wallets you have, that means the number of small holders you've got, and they're less likely to move between pools to try and find opportunities elsewhere. So that's really good numbers, and we're up to 83 blocks minted now, which is cool. So we are firmly in the history books of Cardano as contributors to the space in terms of infrastructure. So we've got people coming to the pool because of Machiavellic, and so if I quickly jump to that, finish off my thoughts on Machiavellic, they have a link to a new Discord server. So if you are interested in the game, if you've already picked up some of the MAC tokens, having been a Cardano, a Fluid Pool delegator, then you probably do want to stay abreast of the game development, where it's at, where it's going, and so you can follow them. I don't know if that's updated to their new Discord server yet. No, I don't think it is. But they do have a new Discord server in the FGL community, which is this link. So what I'll do is point you to the Twitter post, and then you can click on the join FGL Discord link. In the Discord server, there are multiple games represented, of course, so you do want to pick out just to follow updates on the Mac game, and there's some instructions on how to do that in the welcome room. If you have any issues with that, then jump onto the server and give, or the Fluid 7 server, and give me a call, and I can help you with that. We are expecting several promotions and awareness raising activity over the next few months, and Fluid Pool is staying as a partner pool of Machiavellic, so we will be of course we are in the hardliners faction. So if you're looking to get involved in the game, then I can't recommend the hardliners enough. We are a vicious bunch. And the gaming sector is enormous and growing all the time. And so within Cardano, the gaming sector is tiny but growing all the time, and there's huge potential for growth in there on a global scale as well as on this within Cardano. And I think that the gaming sector is one that's definitely worth looking at as an investor, because of the esports is bigger than traditional sports now. So some of the big money gaming events that go on draw more higher rewards, higher prize money than like American football or basketball, and even soccer, as it's called around the world. Some of the earnings by the best gamers out there doing extremely well, and they of course attract a whole audience as well that's growing and growing. So a small portion of that is going to flow down into these games. And Machiavellic is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. So it's got a storyline as well as a sort of first-person shooter aspect, which is quite good. So yeah, if you want to join their Discord server and keep up to breast with the latest bits of news, then this is the link to follow here. And I'll drop all these into the Discord server. Good. So onto some other stake pool matters. So we are a partner pool with Machiavellic. And in fact, we have, with these marketing opportunities that are coming up, there'll be more opportunities to earn their offers of commission passes, which are the NFTs that they launched. There's going to be some giveaways of those. And so they've also got these other ones, shards, which will hold, sort of places in the game play itself, and these OG passes as well. And you can see that they're starting to represent the other chains so there's going to be interoperability between Cardano and other blockchains out there. Wax chain, which I've never heard of, I'm still learning about, is the first chain that will be cooperating with. So there are buying opportunities as well as winning opportunities to get hold of some of these game assets on Wax and also on Cardano as well. So if you are looking to do more than just hold a token, then that's a place that you could benefit from keeping an eye on. Good. So that's earning a ability to earn from being a fluid pool delegator in terms of Machiavellic and Mac token and Mac NFTs or Machiavellic NFTs. Another one is the Coinector project, which is actually where we've gained most of our recent followers. So I think we were sitting at about 80 delegators prior to joining this CNCT initial stake pool offering. And so we've picked up, a good 50, 60 delegators just from this promotion in itself. So Coinector is a launch pad. So when you've got a development project and you want to back it with a token, a native token cryptocurrency, then you can use a launch pad to distribute that token to early adopters, early people who are buying into that project. And so Coinector team have been operating on the Ergo blockchain. Ergo is the blockchain I mentioned earlier in relation to the Sigma USD token, which was a stable coin on Ergo. You've got Cardano, which is sort of a big brother chain to Ergo. Ergo is proof of work. Cardano is proof of stake. And the teams are really, between both those chains, are on very good terms. And so the Connector team built on Ergo initially, and now they're building on Cardano as well. And so they've got Ergo pad as a launch pad on Ergo, and then they're building out Coinector as a token launch pad on Cardano. In relation to their Cardano token, CNCT, they've partnered with several pools to actually run an initial stake pool offering. So this is one of the unique launch mechanism of launching a token on Cardano, is that you actually, as a project, you will partner with some stake pool operators who actually run the infrastructure of the blockchain itself. And effectively, you allocate a certain portion of your initial token supply to these stake pools to be distributed to their delegators. So as a delegator to Fluid Pool, you guys will be able to collect CNCT tokens. So as you'll be earning ADA from just staking to the pool, about 3.5% APR, you can then also pick up some CNCT tokens, which is a benefit for Fluid Pool because we get to attract more delegators. And it's also a benefit for delegators to Fluid Pool already because they now have a new token they can earn. And the project, like Connector in this case, gain more attention because all these stake pools, so all these stake pools, A3C, REIT-G, Nova, AKU, all start to shine a light back on the project itself. So REIT-G is actually a UK-based stake pool. They're actually winding up operations. They couldn't make it viable, which is a shame because They wound up just at the end of the bear market. But these other pools, all the rest of them are still active and going. And some of them attracted really good delegation amounts of stake: 9.6 million in Nova, 5.91 in A3C, 20 million in Happy Pool. And not all just from Coinector, but all the pools have been helped by being part of this promotion. And as an indicator of why these can be a valuable thing to do is, one, you can come in here, stick in your address from your wallet that is staked to Fluid Pool. So, for example, I can jump in here. This is my Eternal wallet. I can grab my receive address. Excuse me. Come back to the Coinector site and drop in my address, receive address. For newbies, your receive address is a read-only address for your wallet. People can send tokens into it, but they can never extract any out of it. So it's safe to share that. It's kind of like sharing your sort code and account number for your bank account. It's just a way to route transactions when you're sending money on the blockchain, so you are able to paste that into websites without fear. So I'm pasting this into here, pressing submit, and that will tell me how many Coinector tokens I'm due to earn from this particular wallet. So I'm due to get 4.46 CNCT. The CNCT token has actually been generated already and has been listed on Tap Tools. So we can now go and compare the price of, or the current pricing of CNCT, and see how much that 4.46 is going to be worth. So again, up top here, you can come in and search for CNCT. It's also listed off the homepage, but it's a quick way to it. And you can see that the current price is 0.146 ADA per CNCT, which isn't a vast amount, but as you can see, the token has only been listed on here for a couple of weeks. And from launch, the price has just increased. That's a rare phenomenon in token launches in crypto, because normally the tokens will launch really high and then dump massively as people sell off. So this is a very a bullish indicator, partly where we are in the bull cycle, but also a sign of a healthy launch, healthy tokenomics in the project. The team have obviously thought about how they manage their launch, which is again good indicator that because they are a launchpad, they're offering the service they're using themselves for other tokens to actually launch. This is a good indicator that they do know what they're doing when it comes to arranging how much token supply to distribute as their token launch, how much to hold in reserve, how much to give, retain within the project itself for running capital, and how much to be giving away as promotional marketing sales value. So that's a good healthy curve. And my 4.46 CNCT that I earned so far in the ISO already have a real world monetary value, which is cool, because often these tokens are stay really low value and never really get anywhere. But this is a good indication. Now this is one of my smallest wallets, so it's only got excuse me, 34 ADA in it at the moment, which is a tiny amount. So you scale it up, you can come in and check with your holdings, put the receive address from your largest wallet in there, and it will tell you exactly how much CNCT you've earned already. And of course, we've got a little while longer to go still in this initial stake pool offering. We're going all the way to Epoch 463, and we're on 452 at the moment, so we're about halfway through.
So with regards to the tokens, Jonathan, can you just claim them at the end of the final epoch?
Yeah, so the claim mechanism hasn't actually been released yet. They do have this redeem page, but I did check in with them this week, and this won't actually be the page that you can do the redeem from. It's going to be a new page that's going to come up. So we're just sitting and waiting at the moment to see exactly how that's going to work. but it is on the way, and there will be a page within their own site to go and collect from. Now, previously we've done like Mac token. We had to go to the Toasty Drop platform to claim our bonus tokens. And for the Gimbal token, which is another ISO we were involved in, we had to go to the Smart Claims platform. With this one, we actually go to, which are third-party development environments. Smart Claims is actually ended up going to the wall. They couldn't be sustainable. Toasty Drop still going strong. But Connexa themselves are a token launchpad, and so they're we call it eating their own dog food. They're using their own technology to launch their own token, so their token claim will also be off their own technology as well. So it's another good indicator that the tech team behind Coinecta are confident in their abilities to build on Cardano, same as they were confident in their abilities to build on Ergo. Sure, Dinesh, got another question?
Yeah, I'm just on the Coinecta website, Coinecta.fi. It's asking me to sign in, so presumably it needs be signed in on using your internal or particular wallet.
Yes, so it's got a wallet connect. They don't actually call it a connect button, which is what we normally see elsewhere. But you click that sign in, you can attach your wallet, and that will let you to actually start to interact with the tool itself. To just see how much rewards you've got, you don't need to actually run the wallet connect.
Oh, right.
So you can just paste in your address, and it will. That way, you're not giving any access to the site yet at all.
I can't well, on the page I'm on, the home page, so I don't have that same screen as yours. So
I've dropped into the Zoom chat link to the Launchpad page.
okay.
So I think off the home page, I did find my way into it.
That's the page I've got.
Okay, cool. So from the home page, you can come into projects, and then this Coinecta is the project name for their Launchpad as well. And then once you're in here, you can go on to FISO, Fair Initial Stake Pool Offering. And then you've got access to the paste in your receive address and get an estimate of your rewards. That's something that's worth doing. Again, it's sort of familiarizing yourself with the ecosystem, with decentralized applications. And the more you can familiarize yourself in that environment, the better and safer you are going to be long term. Because at the moment, there's low value in the ecosystem. So within Cardano ecosystem in particular, there are significantly fewer hack attempts, phishing attempts, compromised projects, and in fact, there have been 0 hacks in the Cardano space to date, which is remarkable. I don't think any other crypto project can say that. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So pride comes before a fall, and we are talking about technology built by humans. Humans are vulnerable, frail, prone to failures, and the same will be said of anything that humans build, unfortunately. However, Cardano is proving to be extremely robust because of its approach, its rigorous approach in terms of technology chosen. Haskell is a mathematically complete test loop. So anything that gets coded in Haskell, Plutus, which is the language underlying Cardano itself, have to be sort of mathematically proven to work before they'll even compile. And a lot of the technology is sort of built on that layer, that base layer, used in financial industries globally, but it's quite a niche language set. Of course, we've got other languages now building on top of that, like Python and JavaScript, TypeScript. but at the very base level, things are very, very stable, secure, complex to get involved in. And that seems to have helped, been what's helped the stability and security of the ecosystem as a whole. Have you got another question, Dinesh, or was that still up from before?
Yeah, I just managed to get to that page. I put the address in, and it's showing me I've got some connector coins, rewards, estimated rewards, so many connectors. So what happens next? Do you just sit on it until until you say go and get them, or
Yeah.
does it not automatically transfer them to your wallet address, etc.?
No, it's not going to be a. As far as I understand, it's not going to be an airdrop, so it's not going to get sent into our wallets. We are actually going to have to go and collect it, but we don't have access to that platform to collect it yet. So it's going to be in the new year. I'll just have a look at the Cardano Epoch calendar. Who's do I like? Have a look at. So Epoch 463 is going to be the end of the initial stake pool offering. So that's January 25th. And when that comes round, then I'll have some more instructions on what to do to actually collect them. But yeah, until that point, there's nothing there's nothing more for us to do other than play with the tools, have a look around the site, see how many rewards were collected, and so on and so forth. And one of the new delegators to Fluid Pool is a trader in the crypto space, and he's an investor in the Coinector project. He got in touch this week to ask if he's on the Discord server, and he got in touch to ask if I had any plans to dump the Coinector token once I'd collected them, because obviously I'm borrowing 1 million ADA for the stake pool, which helps us mint blocks, but I can also then use that 1 million ADA to collect any rewards from an initial stake pool offering that the stake pool is running. So I can collect those CNCT tokens, and that will probably be a decent chunk of the initial supply at launch. And so if I was then to sell them all on them as soon as we got hold of them, then that has the potential to change this curve. Potentially, I've got no idea how many it's going to be. I'll be collecting on that wallet yet. But again, if we ever see big movements on here, it's because somebody is selling or somebody's buying a whole load of the tokens. And so he was concerned, as an investment project, he wants to know what my plans are. And so I shared that I've got no plans to sell. I'm more of a holder than a seller, particularly as we're in a bull market. So the price of all these tokens is far more likely to rise than it is to fall. So again, not advice, but that's my opinion and my intentions of what I'll do with the tokens that I hold. Again, it's down to you. Do set a strategy for any token that you get involved in the target price you want it to reach, and then how much of it you're going to sell to be able to withdraw some profits. Because there's in the last bull cycle, most people got in late, held to the top, and then rode it all the way back down to where we were a month ago, myself included. So as we go up this next bull cycle, let's think about price targets, how much of our holdings we're going to sell to actually withdraw some profits, and then when the price starts coming back down again, because that's the way markets run, we'll actually have some in reserve to be able to buy in more again. Whatever strategy you choose to take, that's got to be what we're thinking of. Did you have something to say, Dinesh?
Is that 0.14 ADA, not dollars? Yes,
0.14 ADA. Everything's denominated in ADA. Actually,
thank you.
Change it up here so we could see it in dollar pricing. I had the Zoom controls over that drop down before, so you can see. So yeah, we're talking about nearly 10 cents per CNCT at the moment, ranging in a recent range between 8 cents and 13 at top. So yeah, we could see this go more, we could see it drop down, but either way, we're getting tokens for free, which is a nice bonus. And very early days in any project, and with the bull market to come, this could be valuable tokens down the line. And because it's a project that's got real utility, they're going to be launching more tokens. They have a history of running on the Ergo blockchain. It's a good token to get involved in. So, and certainly there's a lot of interest in it, because if we as one of the smallest pools have been able to pick up 60 new delegators, 50, 60 new delegators who are most likely looking for this to earn this CNCT token, it's a good indication that there's interest in the space and good appetite in the space for this token. So that's good news. Cool. Any other questions about CNCT or initial stake pool offerings? No, I've got. Yeah, go on, Barbara.
Yeah, I've got I'm pretty new to the space, and at the moment I've just been buying up tokens. But I'm not really a trader, and I've just been hanging out on the exchanges. So I'm just starting to understand that I can take my tokens off the exchanges and go and put them onto a website. And then, because I'm interested in staking and getting more slow but long term and getting in early. So this is a website, and I can go and buy something on that website. And my tokens go to the website, or they stay in my wallet.
So yeah, really good questions. So you've been dealing with centralized exchanges today, like Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, and they are sales platforms for tokens. When you buy them on those platforms, the tokens move into what's called your wallet, but it's actually a wallet that's in the custody of those exchanges. So it's very similar to a bank. You put your pounds, your dollars into a bank, and those dollars and pounds will be used to make more money for the bank, and you'll earn a little bit of interest off it as well. So in the decentralized space, which is where we're trying to move certainly I'm moving the bulk of my investments into the DeFi space. What you're actually doing is taking self-custody of your assets. So you're moving them out of the hands of the bankers, the centralized exchanges, and into your own wallet that you're responsible for. And when you're actually then buying more tokens from a decentralized exchange, or from a centralized exchange, you can move those tokens into your own wallet, and then you're holding them. You can do with them whatever you want. You can use them to make more money elsewhere. And so the DeFi space is all about retaining custody of the tokens for as long as and in as many ways as possible. So your Cardano wallet then becomes the bank, and you're the guy who holds the keys to the vault, and nobody else does. And that's a huge responsibility, but also a huge opportunity. So with a platform like this Coinector, when it's in its fully fledged state, you'll be able to come onto here. Some other project will be launching their token through Coinector. You'll be able to go in, connect your wallet, like we were talking about a second ago, in this. So what? A couple of things around the terminology you using just then. This is a website, correct? But it's also what we're starting to call a so we had websites, and then we had web applications, and a web application you can think of as Facebook or Amazon. These are applications because you go in and interact with them in a far more in-depth way than you would just by reading the Times website or something like that. So you've actually got some functionality that you're participating in. And so you have a web application in the sort of terminology. Now what we've got as a sort of counterpart to the web application, you've got the decentralized application. And the sort of generalized term that defines a decentralized application is that it has the ability to interact with your decentralized wallet. So you'll heard the phrases WAP for web application, and also DApp for decentralized application. And so any website that you see that has a connect button, or in this case, it was a kind of broken mine. In this case, it's got a sign in button. And then once you click that, you're being offered to connect a wallet. You're actually then working with a decentralized application or a DApp. This one has the ability to connect to two mainstream Cardano wallets, Eternal or Lace. And so the wallet that I talk about most on this on Cardano Q&A and in my tutorial videos is the Eternal wallet. And so this is the wallet here that I've shown a couple of times. This is a self-sovereign wallet, and it's a bit like, if you've ever dealt with Ethereum, it's a bit like the MetaMask wallet, or something like that, in that it's a browser extension. So I've actually gone to the Google Chrome store, downloaded the browser extension, installed it on the wallet, and I'd encourage you to do that if you're dealing with a decentralized application tool, is to have a hot wallet like this. We call them hot wallets because they are connected to the internet. They do interact with the internet, and there is more risk in a hot wallet that talks to the internet, talks to a decentralized application, than there is in a cold wallet, or a hardware wallet, which you never connect to the internet. That always stays separate. And so in terms of working in the DeFi space, in the crypto space, you need to start thinking about layers of security upon layers of security. So with a centralized exchange, you just hand your money over, they give you some tokens and hold on to those tokens for you. With a decentralized world, you're actually taking the tokens out of anybody else's hands, putting them in your own hands. And so you're managing your security. And so you can have a hot wallet that you interact with web applications with, decentralized applications with. And then you can also have a cold wallet that's even more secure, that never actually talks to the internet. And case in point, it was mentioned this morning on Lucas' call that the Ledger wallet, which is a hardware wallet.
Yeah, I just got one.
And that's what you've got there, which is fine. That's a good wallet to hold. That is a far stronger level of security than I'm getting from my Eternal wallet, even. But there are still things to learn, know, take precaution over, even with your hardware wallet. So the Ledger ecosystem is a hardware wallet that actually is more innovative than several of the other hardware wallets. But by being innovative, they're also adopting more risk than the other hardware wallets. So they've got this ecosystem called Ledger Live within the Ledger wallet, and that lets their hardware wallet interact with applications, decentralized applications, web applications, to a far deeper level than if you were using just a wallet on its own. So you've got your hardware wallet, you can type in your passkey on your wallet and sign a transaction. Ledger Live actually then starts letting you sign up applications, sign interactions, transactions with applications to a deeper level. And one of the websites where this vulnerability was spotted actually had a rogue script that interacts with Ledger Live, which had the ability to drain your wallet. So it could prompt you to sign a transaction that would let you drain your wallet, which is the big fear factor around anything in this space. So if you were using your Ledger wallet for more than the simplest functionality, then you could open yourself up to this vulnerability. Now, it wasn't widespread, it got caught early, it's been patched already and fixed, but it is an indication that the more feature rich your hardware wallet becomes, the more vulnerable it becomes to attacks. So I would keep it very simple with a hardware wallet. I would, and in fact, we've talked about several on this channel. And really the one that I recommend, because it is so restricted in terms of functionality, it's very basic, doesn't let you do anything dangerous, is the Trezor wallet. So if you are in the market for a hardware wallet, then Trezor is certainly a good one to look at. It's the oldest. It's never been hacked, never had any vulnerabilities. It's low in terms of functionality, still can do everything you need to in the space, but it's less beautiful than some of the other wallets. But it does a job, and that's kind of what you want. Basic, solid. There are other wallets that do extremely good jobs now as well, like the Engrave, which has new levels of security over and above even Ledger and Trezor. Dinesh has got one of those. We've got the new Keystone wallet, which is was demoed at the Cardano Summit, and that's particularly Cardano friendly wallet, hardware wallet. And all these are good levels of security to start looking at, start thinking about adopting. And so as your Cardano holdings, your crypto holdings grow and grow, then you don't want to be just running them in a browser-based wallet like MetaMask or like Eternal. You want to be moving your major holdings into cold storage, like a hardware wallet. So me as a stake pool operator, I actually have cold storage, which is an old legacy laptop that doesn't connect to the internet at all, and I transfer transactions between signing them on my my air-gapped machine, it's called, and the internet with a USB key. And so that's sort of replicating all the functionality of a hardware wallet, but in in proprietary hardware. So it's not specific to any hardware, cold wallet manufacturer. And so there are ways and means. There's several different paths. Go on, Barbara.
So I'm on Coinbase, which is USA based and is set to have stocks go up. I have noticed or heard. Coinbase, the exchange, but I have a Coinbase wallet, which I can purchase things within the wallet. So I thought it was the same thing, but it's not. They're different things. I'm correct in assuming that.
So your Coinbase wallet will be
on the phone.
Yeah. So that is again unless they've called it a DeFi wallet, anything offered from the exchanges, so Binance and Kraken and Coinbase all have wallets, and they have wallets you can put on your phone as well, mobile wallets. But unless they actually call it a DeFi wallet, and I know that Binance, for example, does have a DeFi wallet. I also know that Crypto.com that has a DeFi wallet. Then they are custodial wallets, so they are maintaining the custody of your assets. And so Coinbase, I'm not aware that they've got a DeFi wallet. So yeah, chances are that Coinbase is still holding your assets, and whether that's on mobile or desktop.
So I've got a Trezor and I'm stumbling and falling over with that thing. I can't seem to figure out how to send I'm still getting used to the idea of the addresses and how that works. But I have a Tangen Gem wallet, which is like a credit card thing. It also goes into the phone. People have said it's like it's a hard cold wallet, but I don't think it is correct. It's a hot wallet because it's still in your phone. Yeah.
I don't know the full inner workings of Tangen, but it is a hardware wallet, so you do have more security from that than you would from a browser extension.
Okay.
Because you need to have the card to sign a transaction, correct?
Yeah, I probably have to. Well, I'm just sending stuff to there at the moment. That's all I'm doing. And just so they say it's good, like a cold wallet, but I'm sort of a bit sort of skeptical because it's still on the phone, and you can still go out and buy coins on exchanges or whatever somewhere else, which I'm finding confusing. But it's interesting, like what you're talking about now, because I want to learn more about how to actually use the coins once I've got them, and staking, investing them seems to be a good thing to do. But it's like I'm only dealing with a few exchanges at the moment and sort of figuring out how they all play around. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I like I've always said, I'm not really a trader, but you have to go there to buy the coin. Is that correct? And then once you put it into your wallet, wherever it's cold or hot, then you can move it into projects like this to get something going. Am I being correct?
Yeah. So at this stage where we're at, we kind of, if you've got your holdings mostly, or your earnings certainly in the fiat world, so I earn pounds. I still have to use centralized exchanges to actually get hold of the cryptocurrencies, which I then will move from those centralized exchanges into my self-sovereign wallets, and that way I keep a foot into the fiat world, into the centralized exchange world, but I have my holdings mostly stashed away in my own custody, and that gives me the ability to then interact with opportunities in the DeFi space and in the centralized space as well. So like I have a crypto.com card, and so that's like a debit card, top-up card that I can actually take the tokens from my Eternal wallet. So this is a hot wallet on Cardano, but it's a self-custody wallet. So I hold these assets. Nobody else has keys to them, but I can move them from here, and I can send them to a don't have them set up in here, but I can send them to my crypto.com account, which is like my Coinbase account equivalent. And then from that Coinbase account, I can top up my debit card and spend it in the shops. So that gives me a really quick route out to real use case for my assets. I can spend them when I need to. But I can also.
I did notice that there was a few card systems going like that on exchanges as well. But for me, like everyone says that exchange is not safe, but it's about finding, I suppose, a platform, a group, a cluster, which could be Cardano, to actually settle down into, like I suppose it's like you said, it's like a bank, but these dApps and the website where you interact both ways, that's looking appealing to me. And yeah, sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's fine. Yeah, and exactly that. There are, the way I did it was, I looked at Bitcoin, and I believe that Bitcoin is the safest digital asset out there still. And I looked at Ethereum, because of all the functionality, and I preferred Ethereum in terms of the ability to do all these different things, but I just hated the transaction fees and hated the hacks that are perpetrated in that space all the time. And so then it was, well, what's the next generation? And that led me to Polkadot and to Cardano. And so between those two, I settled on Cardano because of the outlook of the founder, Charles Hoskinson. He's got a really powerful whiteboard video that he did back in the day that talks about decentralization as a boon for humanity, about banking the unbanked, so taking developing nations, actually giving them a financial infrastructure that lets them play on the same field as the North, the West. I love that approach, and so it brought me into this space. And now, having spent 3 years in Cardano, I got a really good understanding of the technical layer and the abilities of it, and the security that's built in from the ground up. There are 100 different academic papers. It's a real rigorous approach compared to Ethereum, which is more like Silicon Valley, build fast, get rich, die quick. This is let's take things slow. Let's be last to market, but strongest to market. And so that is now building up into a really potent ecosystem for trading, holding, investing. I don't want to be doing this as my day job. I want to be able to, sit back and have a portfolio and see that grow, and know that, it's not a pension fund manager who's investing in oil and cigarettes with my with my retirement fund. It's actually me taking conscious decisions over which projects I see have real value. And so all the things I talk about in the space have some kind of value to the world that I believe is above and beyond just financial. So like one of the projects we talk about quite a bit on this space is Empower, and they are a real world property development company. They work with property developers and they work with the cryptocurrency space, particularly out of Mozambique at the moment. Mozambique has a tiny portion of its population that can actually have access to mortgages. And so like 99% of the properties in Mozambique are built and owned by developers, landowners, the wealthy, effectively. So your doctors, nurses, plumbers, they can never own, aspire to owning their own property, which I think is, pretty fundamental to establishing your own security as an individual. And so this project decided to partner the financial system, providing mortgages with property developers who are building properties, and then attaching that to middle class, I suppose, people who are in solid jobs who can actually afford a mortgage. And so they now are able to put that ecosystem together. They're giving 7% rate mortgages, which may be high compared to some of the mortgages we have access to in our developed nations, but compared to the 30%, which is what a Mozambique mortgage would normally cost you, it's an absolute bargain. And developers are building eco-friendly, sustainable housing, and nurses and doctors are getting houses that they can afford. And so it's a sort of buy to earn package. And that whole ecosystem didn't exist a year ago. And now it's starting to thrive. They've got I can't remember the numbers now, but it's something, it was 30 plus houses built and 100 on the cards. And so as an investor, you can actually be providing some of the capital for those mortgages. You're guaranteed a return on your investment because those mortgages are regulated and secured, and you've got real world assets backing them because it's property developers are building real houses in the country, and you've also got committed regular people establishing their lives, getting access to property that they own. And so this is ideal crypto scenario for me. It's about taking a financial institution that was greedy and hoovering up all the cash into its upper echelons and actually distributing it down to grassroots people. And so impact projects like this are really where I want to be putting my investments rather than oil and tobacco. And that's a good way of having that responsibility and being able to improve humanity's experience as a whole by the decisions I'm making. And so Empower is a good way. And so you might want to come in and start interacting with a project like this. And to do that, you're taking your DeFi assets, which you've bought on a centralized exchange, you've moved them into your own wallet, and now you can make purchasing decisions with that. And so I kind of treat ADA as the base layer token, the US dollar in my world. And I'll use that to buy into small cap projects that I see future in. Of course, they're much more risky than holding ADA or holding dollars, but high risk means high return. And so you weigh up your risk profile as you do with any investment, and look seriously at making a difference. And again, you're having to learn a new technical layer as well. So you're starting to interact with decentralized applications. You're learning how to connect a wallet, which does hold some assets, to a website, to a third-party tech platform. And know how to do that safely comes by starting small with small projects, with small holdings, and growing your confidence in what's actually going on under the hood. And so I'm reaching that stage now, and I'm far happy to engage with projects that I know and trust to a deeper degree. So like this Empower project has NFT sales. You can go in and actually buy NFTs, and the NFT space is a whole new world as well you can learn about. But it's mostly to this date being about silly pictures of cartoons on the internet. and joining a cool club and seeing the price rise, a bit like meme coins. But actually, NFTs are merely single instances, single digital instances of some asset. And so they can be fractionalized property. So you could have, each brick in a house could be an NFT in effect. And so you could buy 50 NFTs from a house in Mozambique, or you could buy, a portion of a investment pool that backs a mortgage. You could buy shares in a property development company off the back of this project, and all these sorts of tools are coming. So in terms of empower themselves, they have a whole load of I want to be doing that just now. Let's click on my wallet. Just disconnect. They have a whole load of
I have been doing a whole bunch of research, general big sort of picture research, and I have listened to Charles Hopkinson, that's him, right? Talk a few times, and I've been just impressed with his ethics and the morality and the vision of decentralizing the money that's held by a few, privileged few. So yeah, it sounds really interesting. It sounds great, actually. I think I've been searching for. Okay, so I'm trading, and then what do I do? What do you do? Like you make money on a trade, which I'm not really trading that much, but I'm just waiting for the coins to go up, and then I should be taking profits. But then once I generate a bulk of money, it's about finding projects to invest in to get a small return. And do good. I think that's like the best thing ever, really.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it satisfies your purpose as well as your pocket. And that's, there's no point in having too much of either. You can never, be able to support your family unless you have some kind of profit. But if you can be doing that and helping out humanity as a whole, it's a good thing to do. So this project in particular has got a whole load of traditional finance knowledge behind it, a whole load of different investment opportunities. So if you understand financial instruments and the way that affects the property market and the investment market, then there's a whole load of information. There's white papers and so on you can go in and read and dive into and do your due diligence on, which again is sort of it's the people talk about crypto, but really that's just like talking about money, because there's such a difference between a donkey NFT project and a real fi property development business running in a developed nation. There's they're chalk and cheese, they're miles apart. It's a whole spectrum of crypto going on in between those two, and so the phrase really encapsulates all of activity, and so over time that will start to be understood. But at the moment, you're early, you're treated as a high risk taker. But if you believe that the future of currencies are digital, which is kind of the logical progression for where everything's going, then this is the space that will be on that growth curve from now on. And certainly as you spend time in the space, you hear about the Bitcoin halving, the 4-year cycle of the bull market, and all these start to then empower you in terms of making your purchasing decisions and your selling decisions. And so there are opportunities here, and in a case of being educated will grow your portfolio in a healthier way than just handing it off to a fund manager. And realistically, I think with a greater chance of return, just because the knowledge really does empower you to do more than the 7% that you might get out of a fund. Suddenly you can be looking at 7% in a day on some of your crazier crazier crypto projects. So yeah, it's a good thing to do. And learning about interacting with the technology also will strengthen your ability to withstand attacks, hacks, and vulnerabilities that do crop up. So starting small with some hot wallet activity, interacting with dApps is a good thing to do. And so, you know, you can even classify it as, okay, and one of the money rules that I set up was that I'll never hold more than you know, a tenth of my portfolio in a hot wallet. So I'm always going to have 90% in cold storage. And so I try and maintain that. And as my holdings grow, that's like a good metric. Okay, you know, I've got to get this off my hot wallet. The value's shot up overnight. Let's move this and give me less to play with in terms of interacting with dApps. But you know, that's a good sensible thing to do. And you know, one of the beautiful things about just holding Cardano ADA itself is that you can actually be earning that a couple of years ago it was 5%. It's always diminishing, so it's about 3, maximum is about 3.5%. You can earn from holding ADA now, but that is coming in regardless of where you're holding your ADA. So whether that's in a hot wallet or a cold wallet, on cold storage in an air gap machine, as long as you've got that wallet, that staking address assigned, you'll be earning that additional ADA on top of your holdings. And again, that was one of the things that really nailed me on Cardano was, so with Ethereum, you can stake, but it's got lockup periods, so you have to tie up your assets for 30 days. You can't spend it while it's in there. You're only guaranteed your rate of return if you do the full duration. And there's a risk that if you stake with the wrong operator and they tend to fail and do a bad thing, then you can't get your money out and you don't earn no rewards, or you can even, in some staking instances, lose your capital. And that's the same for centralized exchanges as well as for some of the DeFi spaces as well. With Cardano, the staking mechanism is you hold the ADA in your custody all the time. If it's hot or cold wallet, it doesn't matter. You earn that base rate of ADA, and you can move your stake from one pool to another at any point in time. There's no lockup periods. You can spend your ADA at any point in time. There's no risk of slashing. You'll never lose your capital. It's just really well-rounded, well thought out staking operation, and you know, guaranteed 3.5%. I mean, it's about the same as you get in the bank now, but certainly it was always far more than you could get in the bank up until the interest rate hikes in the last year. So yeah, a really good ground, you know, base level for storing assets and holding assets, and then on top of that, you can then start to take a portion of that and look at these smaller cap tokens. So Empower's a good one to do some research on. And you know, I did share, how I got access to that graphic. I did share a graphic I created from my portfolio that had the breakdown of how I structure my decision making around what projects I invest in. So if I have a look on, I have to do it in this window, I think, which is a different window. So bear with me. I'm not very good at doing two things at once. Actually, I know where it might be. I did drop it on the Discord. So let me grab it. So within you know, crypto, you can still balance your investments, balance your portfolio out among the different tech sectors. So, you know, there are a whole load of different areas to be looking at. Let's see if this will work. So within my portfolio, I've got L1s, which are layer ones, and so that would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Polkadot, and these are the core tokens on these blockchains. And so that's a good place to hold the bulk of your crypto assets, I believe. You know, so obviously you might hold some stable coins as well, but that's really like holding dollars, and then hold some layer ones. And then next sections within crypto that I like are decentralized exchanges, because everybody that interacts with the blockchain, with buying and trading and so on and so forth, they are coming through an exchange. So maybe just a quick look at one of the exchanges that we are often talking about on here, MinSwap. And it will give you a quick view of, so this is a decentralized exchange. It has the features of a centralized exchange in that you can trade on it. You can buy and sell various assets. And within those assets, they aren't, these are all native tokens within Cardano. So each of these, like Min token is the native decentralized, the primary token for the decentralized exchange, MinSwap, which is the application we're using. So Min is a DEX token. And you've got Book, which is an NFT project that creates NFT books. So it's got classic literature and modern publishers starting to release their books as NFTs. So short run releases of real world or written copy. And so it's got like Charles Dickens and the Bible and sci-fi classics in releases NFTs, but it's also got some modern publishers like Mark Cuban's got an investment book. He's released that as an NFT on book.io. And so you can buy the Book token, which is the fungible token for that project as a whole. So you're not just buying NFTs, you're actually got an opportunity to buy the token that represents that Book token. You've got nMaker, which is again the largest NFT infrastructure provider within Cardano. They run the NFT project tech stack for a lot of projects. World Mobile token is a global mobile service provider, mobile phone network service provider. So they're building a real world network of masts and balloons and all sorts that will operate in developing nations and developed nations to provide a coverage for areas that are outside of the mainstream, particularly in terms of network connections. So again, you can invest in a mobile tech company. Kopi token is for a game. ASHIB is a meme coin. So again, you've got all these tokens you can actually buy from this platform. And so if you've got ADA in your wallet, you would come in, connect your wallet. I've already connected it. So I've got Eternal Wallet connected. And then I could come in, choose to buy, say, some nMaker. I've got 34 ADA in here. So I could buy with that 3,000 nMaker tokens, carry out a swap. And then that will bring the nMaker tokens from, it'll send ADA out and send nMaker back to my wallet. And again, those tokens come straight back to my self-custodial wallet. So they're not in the hands of anybody else. I've just used a smart contract platform to actually carry out that swap. So again, there's no humans involved in this anymore. Even if the company disappeared and someone had a user interface that could continue to run like this one, I'll still be able to carry out swaps and trades because of the smart contracts. The code that runs that swap mechanism is actually on the blockchain itself. And this is a sort of technical understanding that you need to get your head around. The blockchain is unchangeable. Once something's written to the blockchain, it can't be changed after the fact. So if somebody's put some functionality onto the blockchain, some code like this exchange has, it can't be changed after the fact. So if every time I interact with this smart contract, I'm going to get the same behaviors as I've always have, and that's going to happen, forever. And that's a far better way of interacting with tech, because that it's going to do the same thing time in, time out. And if a vulnerability is discovered, then you can just walk away from it. But if it's been running for 2 years without fail, then you know that's a trusted bit of technology, and nobody can change the underlying mechanisms of it, which is a really good thing to have, assurance wise for your behaviors. And exchanges like this, MinSwap, you've got MusiSwap as well, which I always talk about. Again, similar sort of things. In fact, one that was in my notes to talk about, and I must have missed it off, or perhaps I hadn't quite got there yet for today's session, was I didn't note it down. So we've got Genius Yield, which I talked about last week, but they've actually launched now. So Genius Yield is a company that's so Lars Brynjes is one of the founders. He was a chief educator for IOG, the founding company of Cardano. And so he taught the programming language to all the first developers coming through in Cardano. He's got this side project where he's built out a decentralized exchange with a whole load of tech advantages. And so they've just launched their DEX, which they still haven't linked from here, but I do know that it's live. So maybe we can just take the testnet off.
There's a lot of videos, YouTube video this morning on Genius Yield. So it's been launched either this morning or late last night.
Yes, there we go. So app.geniusyield.co is the URL. And so this is just launched, it's come out of beta. And the technical abilities of these developers, I rate, very, very highly. I'm more confident in this team than in many most others. And again, you've got several features that you would see in a centralized exchange, but all working in a DeFi space again. So you're not interacting with humans who can change what's going on. It's not like sending your money into a bank and then trusting them to send you the right amounts back or anything, or taking a hidden fee or anything like that. You're dealing with smart contract platform that's written into history on the blockchain, can never be changed after the fact. So the way it behaves now is the way it will behave forever. And again, you've got the similar sort of user interface. You can choose which tokens you want to buy into, swap your ADA for any of these tokens, and that's the way you start to then invest in tokens above and beyond just Cardano itself. So Hunt token is a DEX Hunter platform, which is another way of swapping tokens. Again, a really good project. And it actually, so within the projects I just showed you, MinSwap, MusiSwap, Genius Yield, and there are a myriad of other exchanges out there as well in the Cardano space. All those put their transaction orders onto the blockchain, and then anybody who can create a user interface can see all those trades available and actually execute the best ones on your behalf. And that's what DEX Hunter does. It's a DEX aggregator. So it will look at all the orders, all the transactions out there. Somebody's selling ADA for EndMaker, and say if you're looking to buy EndMaker, then it'll pair you with that person and execute your order. So there's the user interfaces is key in this space, and there's lots of providers for user interfaces, but the underlying tech is still a whole lot of interoperability between projects, which is really cool. And so Genius Yield are particularly strong at that side of things, and this DEX will do well. And again, if you think there's a strong future for Genius Yield, then we've been talking about investing in their token for 2 years as well now. And I hold some Genius Yield tokens. But yeah, this is just launched. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet at all, other than on the testnet. But again, it's got some nice features. However, of all the exchanges that are launching, there's one that I'm most excited about. And so this, just a reminder, because I've lost track a little bit, this was on the back of looking at how I structure my investments. So these ones I've all taken to are tokens associated with this yellow portion, this DEX portion. And the one that I have not been able to get into my portfolio yet is AXO, because I didn't participate in the early initial stake pool offering. But AXO trade. Got the URL for it, and that's not finding it for me easily. this is yet to launch, but they've given us a launch date now, which is very exciting. Launch date one for their token sale, which will be January 9th, I think it was, but then also for the exchange shortly afterwards. And this exchange is going to be an absolute game changer. From a feature set, it is looking just incredible. So it's going to let you carry out same functionality you find on any exchange, but also a whole load more, because you can actually create your own trading bots, whole load of different complex mechanisms for buying, getting in and out of trades, and the user interfaces for all those features are looking really cool. So that's the functionality they're coming with. It's what most anticipated exchange on Cardano, hands down, by all the biggest players in the space who really know and are in it for investment. I've been talking about it for a long while, and they have their AXO token with very shrewd tokenomics by the looks of things. It's not a wide token release, so I want to get my hands on some AXO, and we can do it in 25 days time. So
Jonathan, how do we do that?
yeah, so this is the site to look to follow, axo.trade. That's got the countdown timer at the top of it to show when the date for the actual launch will be. And then there was a link when I first hit this site to go off to the sale. Well, I'm not going to find it again now, am I? So the actual sale platform itself hasn't launched yet, but they did have a dummy link to it. No, I'm not going to see it again. But if you hit this website, axo.trade, then it had a pop-up window that showed you a buy now button, and that'll be coming soon. But yeah, this link at the top will probably go to the same thing. Yeah. So in 25 days, you'll be able to come in and buy it. Of course, I'm just spouting my opinions on any of this stuff. Do your own due diligence. Try and read what you can about AXO. Jarek, can't remember his second surname or pronounce it H something. He's spoken at Cardano Summit this year. So he's got several interviews. You can look him up, hear what the founder, main developer himself is actually saying about the project. Look at the news releases in other news sites like Cardano Spot or on Twitter in particular. Cardano Whale is a big investor in Cardano, and his opinions on projects has been really top notch, and he voices a lot of support for AXO trade. Yeah, research around, read the white paper, have a look at the test net, play with the DEX, and get a feel for the feature set that's coming. And as a result, what the potential price effect will be of having a powerful DEX like this on Cardano. I mean, yeah, just it's a big involved build project, and they've done, they had shared no news at all for 2.5 years. They did their token initial stake pool offering where people could stake with a certain stake pool to earn their token, but they didn't actually do their token, have still not done their token generation event, so nobody has actual hands on AXO yet. But we're going to have the opportunity to buy it January, 25 days time. But yeah, so like this composer feature is going to let you actually build out pathways for purchases and selling, so you can create your dollar cost averaging mechanisms or crypto cost averaging. You can create stop, limit orders, market orders, and 1,000 other different ones. It'll actually have pre-made templates for some of those strategies as well. So if you want to find out what a spread market making strategy might be, a bounded market making strategy, you can go and start doing some research. I don't understand half this tech, but I'm not a trader full-time trader. But this will let you execute other people's strategies in a semi-automated way. So it's like having a choice of bots, being able to build your own bot, putting in some funds and just watching it do its thing. Or you can just use it as a, technical analysis tool, monitoring the charts as they arrive, like you can do if you're in Luca's trading course, for example. You can find out how to do that. And again, this is all dealing with assets on Cardano. So yeah, really exciting times in the Cardano space. Lots of projects coming up, lots of new things. And as a final note, if you are in the UK, can get yourself to London this weekend. There's a social going on. I suspect I'm not going to make it. We've got family visiting. But if you want to meet movers and shakers in the stake pool community and some developers and really nice social bunch of guys, then get yourself along to the Mercato Metropolitano, Elephant and Castle in London. This is the address. And go and hang out at a bar. Guys will be there from midday by the sounds of it. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with the social scene in Cardano, it's a good place to get involved. There will be another event meetup that I definitely will be attending in the new year, but this one is kind of impromptu, popped up from some of my good friends in the stake pool operator community. And again, I'll drop these links into the Discord server if you do want to get yourself down there. Cool. Any last minute questions? We've had the hour and a half that I normally do, but here we can make out.
I did raise one and post it in Discord, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh yes, you did, didn't you? You were asking about Project Catalyst. How do you tell what your rewards are when they come in? So I think it's got a little more complicated this last fund, actually, because they changed their reward mechanism. So yeah, there are lots of ways to earn free money in the Cardano space. One of them is by voting in Project Catalyst, and by being a participant in the voting scheme, because governance is a whole layer that's crucial to the success of digital currencies, and actually creating a new digital world for our finance. You can vote in Project Catalyst and actually get ADA rewards as a result. And so I think in your Eternal wallet, they would show up as one of these bars on the rewards history tab. So these are my staking rewards, so the amount of ADA I've earned just through staking. And I don't think any of these are particularly related to the vote, but it used to be that you could just search for a mere transaction. That's not found it. I'm sure it was just, is it not mere, MIR? Excuse my dog if you can hear him complaining in the background. No, I can't remember. Anyway, so I think what you might be able to do is search for Catalyst. No. Voting. Can't give me a clue here. Now there was a way to do it, but I can't actually find the user interface for it in Eternal Wallet anymore. You can look it up on the Cardano Explorer, but again, that's the way to do it has just changed, so I'm not sure how to do that on there anymore. It used to be you could search for it because there are two ways of paying out. They can actually do a normal transaction like you would when you're dealing with an exchange, or sending money from one of us to someone else in a peer-to-peer transaction, or there was an actual protocol emission itself, which is how they were doing rewards previously. They've now changed to traditional transaction way. So it was easier to find the mere transactions than it is to find the traditional ones. But I think they actually add into the metadata something like Catalyst reward or voter reward. So I'll try and dig that out for you, Paul, and then we can look for our rewards from Fund 10. But you'll probably notice it because it'll be like 10, 20, 30 ADA above your normal, 1 or 2 from normal staking rewards.
Yeah, which is what I don't seem to have anything. It's all just small ADA stuff. That's why I just wondered, even though I voted in it, whether I actually received it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'll try and find a way of just verifying you've actually been paid out. There should be a way as well, possibly by searching through the metadata. But yeah, I'll have a look.
Oh, I was just looking at my Eternal wallet, and I've gone into transaction, and there's a line item called received funds, and I've got 300 something.
So that'll be from your recent voting activity.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the metadata of that transaction? So if you expand it out and then look under metadata, there might be a search phrase we can use.
No, I can't see any.
No.
There's no search words in there. No.
No. Okay.
But you're right. It's bigger than the normal others.
Yeah.
So I'll click into transaction, and then there's one line item there called received funds.
Received funds. Okay. Yeah.
First
I'll
of
try and find the
December.
actual
Yeah,
definitive
1st
way.
of December 23.
Yeah. Okay. But otherwise, it's just crudely looking back through transactions, and yeah. But I'll find that out and update you, and then we can have a look at that next time, Paul.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, lots of information as ever. I'll drop the links into Discord so you can pick them up again. I'll get the video up onto YouTube as well. I think there were some bits I need to crop out of this one because I showed my portfolio on screen stupidly. So I'll blur that out and get that uploaded. But yeah, any questions? Give me a shout on Discord. I'm around for the week, and Dinesh, we'll catch up between Christmas and New Year. That'd be cool. Get your
that'd be good.
son onboarded.
Cool.
Cool.
I must say I've missed my opportunity to register for the reviewer on Fund 11.
Oh, okay.
Because the deadline was the 10th of December. I completely forgot about it, and I just saw the Catalyst AMA the other day, and I've just got, oh no, I missed the deadline. So I think the only opportunity now is to get enrolled is to actually the voting now, isn't it? There's nothing in between.
Yeah, you can operate as a voter and get some rewards for that. Okay. But there are other ways to get involved in Catalyst that do crop up every now and then. So you can perform on a challenge team. You can help in the administrative work within Cardano Project Catalyst as well. So if you are interested in any of those things, then I'm more than happy to have a look around and talk those through with you. But
okay, I'd be interested. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Magic. Thanks
John.
everyone. Pleasure. Good to see you, Carol. Didn't get to chat, but yeah.
That's okay. It's 10:15 and I'm off on an adventure with my mother tomorrow, so I've got a busy couple of weeks coming up.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You have
Christmas
a great
is never
Christmas,
time,
everybody, because I
Will
probably
do.
won't
All the
check
best.
in very
Take care.
Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Jonathan.
Cheers all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice
Bye.
Christmas.
Bye.
Okay.